Hello traders and welcome at this new Bitcoin technical and order flow analysis video. The volatility during summer is surprising for me and I'm really happy because we can do these beautiful swing trades. In previous YouTube video I was showing you full guidance how I was positioning here and how I took major profit over here. I told you we will go very likely for pullback from this point with a lot of reasons. So in today's video I'll be covering how I was trading and guiding our traders from this point until this drop. And in the second portion of the video we can have a look on Bitcoin, what we can expect from this area. Yes, because you should be already in another beautiful trade from Asia, because we've got a lot of confluence on the order flow and in our tools. So that's going to be point of this video. I think I will be showing you a lot of gold nuggets and how our group operates, because in this we'll be covering so many topics. Yes, so you will definitely improve in your trading. One thing I want to mention, you can see this was from previous video, I was giving you immediate pullback. You know what is extremely important for you as a trader is to know when is very likely the impulse will end, when the push ends and you go into range. Because when you know there is 80% chance you go into range, you can start trading this range and you will be positioning yourself to the upside and to the downside. You can be in both trades, and once you break out of this consolidation, you go to seek new value elsewhere, then you will have exposure. That was our case. Up here my bias was on the short side for the past few days, so we were building swing short, and this swing short was absolutely amazing again, and it was accelerated by the news event. But Bitcoin would be heading there anyway, news or not, it only accelerated where we wanted to go. Now let me explain everything what was happening. So we will turn off this and enjoy. Let's go to this. So first thing you can notice that 110k, why I was expecting we very likely go into range or potentially into swing in next few days or even week, because up there I was expecting we will get a longer duration range, was the spot sellers. This was the largest spot selling since the bounce from 101k. So the spot sellers are showing you, okay, we are here and we are selling with the biggest strength. The main reason why the spot sellers were arriving with such a force, because you moved 10% in few days, and also multiple time frame traders, so the intraday traders, medium time frame, even high time frame swing traders, all of them hit take profit. So everybody is distributing and we are seeing 200 million sold on this spot. Yes, and first we've got the absorptions. This was really big spot selling, but it was at least leading price to the downside. So spot market was definitely changing character. That was like first warning sign for you, something can be done. What's also happening here with the latest push to the upside, you cleared a lot of shorts from multiple time frames. When we go to, I can show you that on PVSRA indicator. This is really useful. I keep deleting it, but because I use other tools, but you know, if you don't have other tools, you can see it over here. So you can see market was already destroying, you really need to watch also my previous video, but market was already with this pump doing one-to-one extension of the shorts into the lows. So you were already destroying shorts from this region, and now this final move here was done with the biggest volume in the whole push. This was the capitulation candle. Most people who were short in here or shorted into the lows into 101k got destroyed in this candle. Monster volume on all exchanges, huge liquidations. This was maximum pain point. The Bitcoin primary purpose, whether you like it or not, is to cause the maximum pain for both directions. It's so volatile asset, it's really hard to price for many market participants, so it's gonna be harming and pulling liquidity. So over here, if large sellers on the passive side, they wanted to fill big orders, so they got it, you know, and since that moment the high was also protected. So this was capitulation event, same capitulation event we've got with this candle move to the downside. Yes, that's why you're also bouncing. This was statistical bounce, you cause maximum pain and you bounce, but we will go on that later. Yes, let's go here. Let's go to this post. So yeah, you can see, like, look at the shorts taking massive hit. I was also showing you that this was purely forced move. That's one of the reasons when, if you were around during Asia and you were patiently waiting for this EPA reversal, which we by the way teach in this module, because EPA reversals are one of the strongest reversals you can trade on the marketplace. So you really need to understand every single part of it. Yes, most of the EPA metrics were met, and pullback here was also statistical. If you get such a price action, it's very likely you will feel good portion of this candle, because this whole move was forced, and it was forced from shorts. Yes, and if they were short, they needed to rebuy position back. So big push, and now market is filling, and this was done mainly on the buy volume. You are missing sell volume, so market will be efficiently auctioning in the area and filling it. So if you, because I was not around the Asia, but some of our wire traders were, and they took the short. So that's what matters there. The one of the most important aspects in our trading strategy, and when in 1 or 2 years I will be trading mainly just with TRDR, and I will drop everything, like most of the things I use, because I'll be focusing on swing trades, is of course TRDR. So TRDR was signaling very heavy pressure, and that pressure was stopping the impulse to the upside. That's first thing you get from this, and second is you will potentially go for the swing short to the downside, at least like big reaction to the downside, or swing. It can be also swing short. Let me show you in TRDR how it looks like. Yeah, we need two templates. We need the main order book template. We will be zooming out. This is more for day trades and medium time frame trades. It's not like super focused on swing trades, but I'll be also showing you on swing template. So what you need to know here, these buy bands here were coming from perpetual market. So leverage was trying to hold the market, but you can view this. The leverage potentially can be holding market, so until spot market fills their orders they want to. But we had double pressure on these spot markets. Yes, both thresholds. Look at the pressure. Yeah, it was. I'm looking here. Double. 584 million on the sell side and 266 million on the buy side. So you have twice more sellers in the order books and all exchanges in the world compared to buyers. That's very good ratio. And you just need double more volume to continue higher, and it's summer, so Bitcoin tends to range during summer. It's statistical knowledge, so we just went into the range, and in the end it played out to the swing side. Spot markets are always more important than perpetuals. Yes, perpetuals were trying to hold the market, that's why we got the range, but later on we started to fill the walls. Do you see, by the way, the bounce down? Blue bands, again, boom to the upside. You have no bands here, you react on the imbalance of the market. It's just easy with TRDR. So yeah, sell bands playing out, and I will be showing you also the swing template, which is the new one we'll be soon introducing to our traders. So we go here because it's covering wider wider order books. Let's go to 50-minute time frame and look at that. You are getting the strongest signal on the swing template. We can see order book depth is also very heavy, and here the selling pressure was stronger. Here it was like double confirmation, so very strong selling pressure. And if I go to 1 hour time frame, you are also getting big bands. So we know also the all-time highs are getting protected still with hundreds of millions on the sell side. So it's actually not that easy for Bitcoin to breach to new all-time high and to continue to 115 or 120. Maybe it will be very hard during the summer. You need big capital to actually move to 115 to 120k. Yeah, very heavy sell side there. Like, it's very stacked on the spot market. So what Bitcoin loves to do, you know, it's just gonna be trading very likely this range. I was giving big range, 110k to 90k for this summer, but for now I change opinion. Could be 110k to 100k or 99k if fundamentals in the world doesn't change, because they can really push us. Yes, we know how Bitcoin dropped from 107 to 77 on the back of the fundamentals. It was not technical analysis, and also it was order flow, but you know, it was going in tandem with the equities. So yeah, TRDR again, massive win rate, doing what it does the best. If you don't have this tool, you are not in the group, you better join the group just for the TRDR and learn it. from our modules. Yeah, it's gonna change your life. I'm telling you. Not many tools in the world are having such an impact on your trading. This is the tool which is like literally changing my win rate every single time. Okay, so let's go here. This was more of a local setup when I was coming into the PC. Look at that. So Bitcoin is still hovering around 110k. Look how scared this market on the short side. Everybody stopped out or just closed shorts, and you are getting piling in longs. Yes, and I was taking short with our traders, and this is the best time to actually take the trade when you have imbalance in the market, when you have mostly longs, very little shorts. Shorts are scared, and who is left in the market to be wiped out? The other side of the market. So longs, we pushed to the downside, we cleared the longs. That was the more of the local setup I wanted to show you. Now I was telling you, right, when you pushed over 109k, you created massive inefficiency. There is very high chance you will be filling candles like these when you have only one-sided auction market. When this is how you know actually this was forced market, not FOMO, because you are getting a high volume, like 3 billion candle, and you are seeing buyers, mainly buyers. Almost nobody was on the sell side. Here was a bit of auctioning, but here you missed the sell side, and very likely market is gonna fill it. And that was the first purpose. When we are shorting over here, we took profit because we feel the inefficiency. All this candle here was good, it was nice auction, but here, yeah, inefficiency. Oftentimes you see single prints in these fair value gaps, and you can call it whatever. Yeah, doesn't matter what the name is, but you need to understand what is causing on the market. Yeah. So that was filled back short. So market did the pullback. We were holding the 100,008. This was actually key area to hold and create the expanded range, because if you lose this area, go for much deeper pullback. You see what market did, push into the close. I was already watching Netflix with wife, but I took nice short from the phone. I don't trade on the phone mostly, but you know, why not? Why not having fun while she don't know? So extra trade taken from the VAH. Always be aware of the local AMT. Yes, that's what matters. You can literally skip trading inside the range. You can be just waiting on extremes like this. Let's go to another post. Yeah, I was explaining already that TRDR continue to show us we will be ranging. We can see the sell side. There are situations when orders are pulled, when they are cancelled in all exchanges in the world, but not this time. They were kept there, so we continue to look. We will be ranging, and out of that range, our focus was more on this short side to get swing short. Yeah, same like these people with over 600 million on the sell side. We are not fighting whales, we are going with them. We are not fighting institutions, we are going with them. This template also was showing you the better breakdown. You can see every single threshold is on the sell side here on the spot markets, but the perpetuals this was the main culprit, holding price. And you know those big bands we were seeing, though I'll be showing you them shortly. This is what was holding us. And you can see the spot market, like when you take the shorts, this is what you want to see. Yes, so this was that move I was showing you into the VAH. Then we started bleeding. Only energy and only side of the market buying it was mainly coming from perpetual markets. This purple line, other color I don't know, mainly buying, and they were getting trapped. The spot market absolutely didn't care. It was continuous selling, almost no buyer on spot markets. Almost no buyer, move to the downside. That's what you want to see when you are in short, to have that on your side. Short over here. Yeah, this was another short. The setup I was taking. So you see, I was taking plenty of short. I was taking take profit one, and then I was more greedy on the take profit, so it became a potential swing. One of the scenarios we never got, and I think this is the reason why people were left behind, like many people were waiting for this. But we were taking shorts even without this scenario. This was one of the best scenarios you can get, but this summer and during summer, some high probability scenarios don't have to happen. because you were creating lower highs, yeah, so you were engineering liquidity, yeah. This was also key high not taken, also not on CME, so 1, 2, 3, 4, like more internal highs not taken, but this was pretty crucial to take. But this is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is getting more, is trading more like traditional asset, and on traditional asset, sometimes you do this. You come into the, like, this is overall market structure resistance, you come to it, and you will not do swing failure pattern. So you have to trade what is in front of you, and you will not be trading wishes or hopes. One of the disadvantages of me not getting this scenario was my leverage was not as big as I would take here on another EPA. That's okay. You don't always need like big leverage anyway on these Bitcoin moves. You can see there was also protection on perpetual markets of the highs, and that was final attempt of Bitcoin to actually push here. We took out one wall and then we went down. These walls, by the way, are huge, over 500 BTC each, so very substantial size. Remember, this wall is not a 90k price or 80k price. This is now 110k. So it's a much larger capital because the valuation of Bitcoin is higher. So it's like 800 BTC wall when Bitcoin was 90k. So very big sell side, like hundreds of millions on its sell side trying to fill the orders. They managed to fill only one trade, but it was really useful if you were shorting to protect your entry. Yeah, so sellers protecting highs. Let's go to this scenario. A lot of heavy buying was happening into the highs. A lot of FOMO buying. Look at the delta on the leverage. Huge buying, then they're getting destroyed. A lot of chop in the market. Indecision. Again, big buying. Then we actually took them out, and then we continue to the lower side of the market. That was just brutal. Let's go here. Now we finally move to the downside. And which day it is? Yesterday. So we are in yesterday already. One thing I want to tell you about when we were started to move to the downside, here on this day we've had CPI, really good result, and also China and US talks were really progressing well, like a lot of good news. But market, equities and Bitcoin were unable to materialize to push to the upside. Instead, we started rolling down to the downside. What is it telling you from fundamentals point of view? Market is very efficient machine, so it seems market priced in all the good news and traders are taking profit. Like all market was already positioned on the long side. And that's the thing, when you can't move on the positive news, this warning sign, you get to range or you go for pullback. That was like big post I was making in the group, and that's what happened. We finally lost the top range, and now very interesting situation happened. I will be covering it with the let me check if I will be also showing you Tradingdifferent. We were watching these walls because you could be scalping them, but there was one scenario I was warning of. When market is slowly bleeding into the walls and we get no reaction. That's really bad scenario to trade. It's showing you the entity is not protecting entries, and also market is not getting larger bounces out of it. So yeah, this was one of the scenarios. Yes, and now AMT is coming into play again. For me, so you lost top range. Yes, you lost the top range, and now you will be seeking value elsewhere. The problem is, look at the pump. Do you see the support in the pump? No, there is not really good support in the pump. You will be seeking next volume support in this, or you will be grabbing liquidity out of this low, and you will go further closer to the Mont Val. That was the second scenario which happened on the news. But yes, you will not be seeking value much there. One thing you can notice, that's another thing, as you are not, like 1 month back actually was getting rejected, so that was warning sign for you, we might rotate this range. And also volume here was very low, so between 108k to 106k volume traded, very low, so market was actually trying to build some volume. In the future, I think it's gonna build more volume, because every single volume profile wants to be efficient and wants to curve like fully, yes, wants to fill these gaps. not much transacted here. It's gonna be done in the future. That was one of the reasons we went for pullback as well. Also, anchor VWAP was warning us. You always place anchor VWAPs for the uptrends and downtrends, and this was the most recent bump to the upside. You see very good reaction over here, was holding us again even after here. So two nice reactions, but this time you become very choppy, and after choppiness and losing and trading below anchor VWAP, you start rejecting it. So another warning sign, the pullback is coming, because bulls in the impulse lost control and they are getting trapped. So very good indication. Then we've got we've got really good bounce from this anchor VWAP then in the middle of the New York session. Okay, so that was pretty cool. Let me show you that if you want to. We can turn off. I will just make it smaller. We go to 5-minute time frame and anchor VWAPs. Yes, this was the New York session early low. So you've got also that one. It was high chance you will get reaction, because since the moment we pushed from a 101k, it was never retested. So you've got the value buyers coming in, bulls were protecting but losing it, and then you've got the big spill down to the downside. So yes, let's continue. So as we were in the local short, then it became day trade short, then it became swing short. It was very obvious for us to watch 106, 800s. This was also anchor VWAP low. We did swing failure pattern out of here. You've got 1% bounce at least. I think we were trading this. That was beautiful long setup. But it was very obvious for me. I was also stating here, if this low is lost, I will expect much bigger downside move. Also 107k was important from AMT. So you really need to know when to be defensive. When I turn on AMT, let me show you. 30-minute time frame. This was extremely influential range on the Bitcoin price action over here. Yes, you remember that. We've got acceptance, holding, we push, so we rotated this range. This was last good volume range before Bitcoin attacks the all-time highs. So we've rotated that, we've created another range on top of it, but you know, once you lost the top range, what's going to be your target? It's going to be a day val of that range, and now it traded. So, and that was another helpful factor for us to push. Now, as you lost it, this was big warning sign. You are not even in the fair value of this range, and you will be seeking value elsewhere, moving down into the 1 day 11-day val, and also it was 1 month val here. So double AMT confluence. That's how market works. You all need to do, like, AMTs really should be core of your decision making. And in the process, once you lost that low, because oftentimes out of such lows, market creates expanded range. It holds swing failure pattern. Yes, I think without news, it was possible we might actually do that, but you know. So that's what market tries to do in very strong markets. If it fails, it's weak market. Support here, this was like limited support, but it's support where market often creates this expanded range. It can do this, but fail to do that and you go lower. You've got single prints to be filled, so literally you don't plan to trade single prints. You've got point of control, but you know what's the problem? This is weekend. Yes, weekend price action, so you have weekend liquidity below, so this should be really run, and now you need to turn on CME gap. So that was the problem. I warned our traders multiple times. 107k lost, and we can be in big trouble also with the low. Let me show you CME gap. Really good indicator for this. Yes, weekend price action. Weekend traders most of the time they can get some nice journey, but they are too greedy often, and they are getting destroyed. And that was the thing. You've got 1, 2, 3 lows, potentially 4, 5, and all the liquidity to be swept. And you know why market accelerated so much and why it was so important for me to not lose 107k region. The biggest longs When we were pushing from 101, it was mainly based on spot market. You actually had shorts in the lows. Yes, look at that, squeezing them here. Now the biggest longs in the impulse were arriving here from 105k to 107k. Look at the Binance, and the open interest was still not destroyed. Yeah, so as soon as you start to move down, just remember just think about when you are in long here. That's the thing I'm doing in my brain all the time when I'm trading. I'm thinking, all right, I'm long here, I'm too greedy. Yeah, okay, breakout trading can be done, but you would be I'm usually positioned from lower levels, but these people were doing breakout trading. Yeah, and 80, I would say 80% of traders are too greedy in the market. They don't understand. It's very likely market will round trade them, especially during summer. So think about it. You are in long here. Where would be your invalidation? Very likely below this low, below structure, or below this low. Yeah, or you will have no stop loss like some crazy people, and then you will get liquidated. That's going to be your stop loss. And remember, you are in long here, and price is coming to you. So what you will be doing? You'll be closing position in a small loss or at zero. And if market goes much further and is accelerating, then you will be exiting violently on emotions or on your stop loss, whatever. So moving below this region, like moving over this region, is accelerating market like heavily to the downside. Sadly, this last part of the move was done with leverage, and market is not merciful. It's gonna wreck you, especially during summer. It's gonna hunt such liquidity and such leverage. Those are weak hands, okay? They can be taken out easy. And just reminder on that factor. Let me show you that post again. And remember, these longs are left in the market, we can say, alone, because you already destroyed so many shorts. You don't have new trapped shorts who will be providing you fuel and bounces to the upside. Yeah, these people are left, and yeah, that's why it was so easy. Okay, so CME gap was planned to be closed. This was, by the way, we are watching. We found another scalp out of here. Yes, that was the confluence we were talking about. But you know, a lot of sell side was already lurking here. 107, 500, 108k. So that was very limited bounces. I haven't taken. This was London high. So if you were, we were taking longs here, but we were taking big fat profits also in, in the sell side. Yes, as the, big entity was feeling, it was trying to exhaust the market, but we continued lower, and that was the risk. The risks were increasing as we were continuing lower. Yeah, you see sell side over here. We said we will be taking profits on this long. You need to know when to get out and lower risk. And this was the final setup before I went. Like, this was one of my final posts when I went to sleep. Actually, the first area I was looking for swing failure pattern was to close to CME gap after you cleared these three lows and you bounce. This was one of the scenarios, but we actually went lower, and we went lower primarily because I don't want to talk about politics much, but Israel and Iran. Israel attacked the Iran, and then market become irrational. And it's in such times, we remember what happened last summer. Bitcoin was dropping 5-10% move to the downside on the war. War is never bullish. An immediate reaction are closing positions. People close positions, they go into gold, they go into yen and dollar, and also oil if it's Middle East. So everybody closed positions, and that outstretch moved into the much lower levels. Yes, but we stopped anyway. We will be now moving to today's trading, so you'll see. Market goal, yeah, so this is it. And now we can actually move to today's trading, and I will be showing you what can be next. One thing you need to do, like first thing you need to do right now, is to watch equities, because now we are moving 1-to-1 in the matrix correlation, which means if equities continue to recover, Bitcoin should also recover. This is the start of the Israel attacking Iran. Yeah. Also, this is causing large inefficiencies. So if markets see no escalation, I will be talking about fundamentals because they just matter now. If market sees no escalation war, like Iran is not retaliating or Israel is not going for longer war, then you might see this field. But if we see more escalations, I think we will go into range, or we will actually continue into big blitz to the downside. So just be very careful. Maybe if you are not experienced in trading news events, you can take few days off and wait for the dust to settle. Nobody's forcing you to trade this, okay? We, like most people like me, prefer technical trading with Orderflow. If it's news event narrative, then you need to be careful and you need to understand the news, and you need to be good news traders also. So you can see Bitcoin, Bitcoin is like equities are very negative. Gold is of course up, on any war is gonna be up, and oil is also a good barometer of what's happening in Middle East. If it's continue, like there was like big pullback already, that's why equities bounce and Bitcoin. But if it's continuing to making new highs, then it's showing you the escalation is really real. Yeah, and it's not good for the global economy, because the most powerful step Iran can take is to like block the Strait of Hormuz, and it's gonna block global oil, yeah. And then the tariff wars will be looking like walk in the park. You will see, like you can get oil shock to 150, and then inflation will be spiking. So markets don't like such situations. That's why they are reacting to the downside, because it's very inflationary to have any war in the world. That's the reason why we have big inflation in the world anyway. You have Ukraine Russia war, that's all inflationary. That's why world changed. And also Israel is doing war, and this is maybe potentially second one. So those are inflationary pressures. Always during times of wars you have inflation going up, and it's hard to keep it down, yeah. Because long term humanity is deflationary, but yeah, the wars are getting it wrecked. So yeah, keep an eye on oil, equities. We will wait for New York cash open, and now we can go to order flow. I don't want to, this is Friday, so I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to show you on our main template again. So if you were swing shorting, yes, as we were also, that's the beauty of it. Like you can go in range here for 1 or 2 weeks, and then you get moved to the downside, or you resolve to the upside, but it's less likely with such bands. But you already trade the range. Now during Asia, when I was sleeping, so I was not trading this, I'm still not long. I need to wait for deeper pullback, or I would just miss the trade. We've got the blue bands. So again, now the buy side was much more heavier than the sell side. Look at that, both. That's why you get blue bands, 3 times more longs than shorts. On Coinbase spot market also very heavy. Yeah, 2.5 more longs than shorts. That's beautiful. And even perpetuals are more neutral or on the buy side. So everybody on the buy side, yeah. So that's like brute force stabilization. You can see here these walls were getting filled. This was the big volume to the downside. Someone is protecting in the yeah. This is going to be very likely protected in the future. Someone was flashing big order here, then he cancelled. Maybe he go in with market order, or he's just hitting, and then we'll go market order when we come here. But it's beautiful. He's showing his cards, but you can see why we are leading to the such imbalance. Blue bands flashing here. It's time to go for you long. You also need to book profit on short. On swing short, I had 35% left, and I booked 15%. So I have 20% remaining in case there is further escalations and we go below 100k, for example. Then I can even add to trade. You can see it's not that hard for Bitcoin to push to the upside. It's almost empty order books. Look, I'm holding the zoom button here. You have like 5 Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin, 0.7, 4 Bitcoin, 5 Bitcoins, almost not much Bitcoins. You don't need much volume to actually push to fill the inefficiency. That's especially if we see no escalation from in the war, then you can fill this very easily on low volume. That's one of the things. If you are getting long with the bands here, you see massive support. Look at the spot is now heavily, like many new walls were added and were ready to absorb sellers. Plus you are also filling big walls on the spot market, so that's also exhausting sellers, sorry. Now we are changing also structure, so really good to be in long. And you know, it's very easy for your long to do 1, 2, 3% because it was also very exhaustive move to the downside. Lots of volumes got filled. Everybody on the long side now destroyed. Weekend longers, the FOMO longers who were holding in the impulse. Beautiful clearing of the market. So if there is no further escalation, this is really good low, and we can continue 1617k. Yeah. But again, I cannot now predict because I will, you know, how this ends, if you get escalation or not. In the future, protection of 100,000 should be done. Yeah, big orders here. Protecting, and again, look at the buy side. It very like it changed character very much. So this is leaving a lot of breathing room. Perpetual is also pretty scared. They are trying to defend the start of the. They are trying to fill orders exactly where the selling started on the news event. We will see if we get that. And in case you feel this in the next few days, you know we still have massive resistance at 108,800, these 3 walls. That was one of the things when we lost the top range. Look at that. So these walls were protecting highs. If you were shorting here, you could be hiding stop loss behind them. That was really good. And now as you move to the downside, even more walls, like in the push here out of the setup we were taking, like so much sell side was also put here. So some people were shorting here and they put stop losses behind. Yeah, that's why the passive side, because these people are just sitting in the order books. That's why passive market is crucial for, because you only move on market orders. Yes, but passive market participants are key to protect your entries. Oftentimes you use their hundreds of millions to, you know, to provide protection. And also now, so let's go to technical analysis here. When we go to VA medium time frame, so you see what Bitcoin did. We can hide this 3-month. We can hide because we want to focus on this 3-month. We can hide. And that's Bitcoin. So Bitcoin ultimately finished another range rotation. Yes. Move again outstretched to the downside because the impulse needed to be cleared. And you found support very close to the 1-month val. If you have zero time on trading, you literally need to be lurking with alerts on range extremes, on market structure of the larger range. Yes, because this is value area, but you also have the market structures. Yes. This. When you go outside of the VAH, you need to be aware where is market structure, previous supply zone. This one is very old, is coming from, look at that, from previous all-time high. This is previous all-time high resistance, big resistance in the past, still affecting Bitcoin. Boom. And this was more local one. So you combine these two things together and you already are very happy. Look where we stopped. Do you see that? Yeah, this was marked for me as naked. So it was weakening for future returns. I told our traders, I see limited support in the push, but I'm seeing stabilization, like there was a lot of stabilization in this area, and that's where we stopped. And you see how market, so when I turn off the market structure, how market went into calm mode after you did the liquidations and clearing. You are now back, like you were trading this point of control and high volume node, you flipped it into support pretty much. Yes. And now you are in the box because long term, this is where most volume was traded. So again, potentially, if we don't see escalation, or I don't know, if markets will be still nervous, you can just range in the box, same like here. This is where market found the strong resistance. Now lose that box and lose the volume, lose that low volume node, and you have trouble. You have trouble because potentially you might do swing value pattern out of this low and push. Or if you fail with 1-month val, here big warning is coming for you, and you might actually go for the low and retest it again. If this low is lost without swing value pattern, we know what's going to mean it for Bitcoin to fill rest of the inefficiency. To fill rest of the inefficiency, now we need to turn on this again, and I already have some. Oops. this scenario is already waiting from previous. So you don't have much support here, so pretty much you don't want to lose this low, yeah, because you will be feeling another almost no support here. But then we have 96,000. Well, let's go to 1 hour time frame so you understand it. Actually 2 hour time frame. Look at that, yeah. So this is previous consolidation for a very long time, 16th of November until 21st of February. So for Bitcoin, this is going to be next summer support. Okay. Again, my estimate for Bitcoin without any fundamentals was it's gonna range 90k to 110k. But then I adjusted it. So first I'm like expecting range in this box now. So 110k to 98k. And if it fails, then I will be returning back to my original scenario where I'm expecting the range in this new box. Ultimately, for me, if I see Bitcoin again coming into these vals, I will be happy to buy Bitcoin on spot. Here, Bitcoin is expensive for me, sadly, but I was loading up in these areas. And again, I'm willing to buy Bitcoin around 90k. If that fails in the future, potentially we get a recession or whatever, we will need that for Bitcoin to do such pullback. Then we are ready in the trade areas here, where we will be placing trades and also buying cheap Bitcoin. Yeah, the Bitcoin is still cheap for the long term anyway. So we need to really monitor the world. Right now is not going to be much about technical analysis and order flow, but more about fundamentals. It's really hard to make opinion. I don't want to make further political views here. I will do them in the group more. But my opinion, very likely could not. Maybe it's not over for the escalation, and markets will continue crashing. In my opinion, we will see. It's interesting. The liquidations here were larger in this candle than here. It's already showing you like a lot of people got destroyed, and I think open interest got really massive reset. Oh yes. Okay, how long is the video? 40 minutes. That's better than usual. So again, be ready. I don't have long because I actually didn't have alert here. I was short. So in case Bitcoin comes to the lows, I'll be looking to place position to get myself also into long side. If I see major escalations, then I will be waiting for lower supports, which I was mentioning, this spot demand node. And to the upside, I don't plan to short Bitcoin pretty fast until we close sell off on the news event, and then a previous day view up. So maybe my shorts will be aligning with when we move above this, actually above this high. When we come into this box, this is going to be area where I will be looking for shorts. You can open the volume profile and see where is the volume. Yes, around this daily naked poke I might be looking, or even up here, but that's top of the range. That's not likely to reach for now. And to the downside, you can see how inefficient volume profile we have. Yeah, we stopped at the single prints, but again, we if this low is lost, we will go very likely to feel the rest of the inefficiencies, the rest of the single prints, and then it's gonna be up to AMT. Yes, if we hold this or not. Oh, so we are pretty much ready. So yeah, next week I would like to do. Next week I will do next video. I need more data now. We need to see more clarity in the world. We need to see how the weekend plays out. As next few days will be crucial. You can expect next video maybe on a Monday or Tuesday, depending on how Bitcoin moves. And I want to do the on-chain analysis video. It's going to be special for this summer because on-chain data are not changing much. You will see a lot of useful things, so you can prepare for the bull market or bear market data. You will know what to watch. Just remember, summer range is still here. all you like really, if you don't want to lose much money during summer, all you need to do is to do less scalping, more day trading, and even more like focusing on swing trades. Yeah, market will trying to chop you on these time frames. It's gonna try to take money from you, but don't let it, you know. Yeah, here was my initial prediction for the Bitcoin to be range. So I was not expecting any bull market. Why during summer? Why when everybody is on holidays? Like a lot of institutional capital is not even trading during summer. So you don't have decisive inflows, outflows. The strongest performance on the equities and Bitcoin is done during quarter 3 and quarter 4. Actually, quarter 4 is the strongest, not during summer. Okay, traders. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, give it a like, subscribe, and wait for more updates. You will not regret it, and join our group, learn with us. Thank you for watching, and have a nice weekend, traders.